Okay.
So again, we'll keep this confidential, and
No problem.
this will help my notes, and we'll
Okay.
figure out a name to use for you and
No problem.
things like that.
Sounds
but
great.
you've got
Yes.
such a fantastic story.
Okay.
I would love to
No
help
problem.
sort of talk about it. I think your life is very it's inspiring in many ways. Your desires to sort of
Thank
go and
you.
help people and help women in similar
Thank you.
situations. So I think your story is important for a lot of people. So tell us again. I know you told me some of this before, but it just sort of to help to sort of get it onto recording. Tell us where you're from.
Okay. Well,
Where you grew up, I guess.
okay. I was born in Tanzania. Um, my family are originally from Tanzania, but my dad had a job in Somalia, so we had to move over to Somalia. So from Somalia, we came here to America, and we've been here about 16 years now. Yes.
Good long time. And you've been in. Did you come directly to Utica? at
Yes,
first?
yes, I always lived in. I mean, not always, but my family always lived in the Utica area. I moved around few places. I lived in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, in Nebraska. I lived in Washington D.C., Virginia, Maryland.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and I came back here because it's it's a very good area for like school wise and like to raise kids, and it's just a very good place to
Yeah.
be as a
Yeah.
someone not from here, because there's more people from everywhere, so it's kind of like we understand each other and work together well, and it's just better for as a refugee.
Yeah. Yeah. And was it hard getting used to the snow and the cold after coming from?
Yes. Well, it was very hard because we don't have no snow back home. So getting used to it, it wasn't an easy thing. But if I had to choose between the winter and the summer, I'll probably choose summer. I mean winter. I like the winter way better, and it's just
Yeah.
it's better. I like winter better.
I do too. I'm from Southern California, and I actually like it here.
Yeah, no, I
better.
I love the
Yeah.
winter. I just don't like when it's snowing, but once it's like down and beautiful,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's great. That's great. And did you find help with there's the Mohawk Valley Refugee
Yes,
Center?
yes,
Did they
yes.
help your family?
Yes, our family came through there actually. So when we first came here, they were the one who were able to find us a house, help my parents find jobs, and with the school, they thought before we were able to go to school because, what when I came here, I was 9 years old. So in here, you should like at 9 years old you should be in fourth grade and already know how to like write and read, and but I could not even really write my name, so for me to just be in like in school and not being able to write my name, it was very hard. So the refugee center were able to help us out learn how to like like pretty much speak English, how to write your name, how to like everything, pretty
Everything.
much
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
Yes.
So they offered classes for
Yes,
children.
yes,
And
yes.
did your parents take classes too? in
Yes, my
English
parents. Yes, my
language?
parents. Yes, all of us. I mean, at first, I'm not sure if they still do it. Like it was like kind of like mandatory for you to like learn the English, because the refugee center are not always going to have an interpreter. They're always not like, so they require us to like learn the English, so that way that when they're not here, we are able to help
Yeah.
ourselves out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
So it's kind of like mandatory for you to like
Yeah.
learn the English language in order to survive.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And tell me how you grew up with many languages. I mean, you
Yes.
speak. Tell me the languages you.
I speak. Well, my family we originally speak a language called Chizigula. It's like it's like a Swahili dialect, but not really. So I speak my Mai. I speak Chizigula and English, and I speak I can't really speak but I can understand everything Somali,
Oh, yeah.
and so I speak four different languages.
Wow.
Yes.
That's right. Very
Yes.
impressive. So you've caught up to the English system
Yes.
well. And,
Yes. It
and
took
now-
about sometimes I would say that I think the speaking was much easier than the writing. So like I like I still sometimes have problem with the writing, but the speaking was very easy because even like at the refugee center, even with the people that who spoke the our language, they tried to have them speak to us in English so that way that we could practice a little bit more, be able to, especially with the younger kids, they were like they try having us speak English with each other and things like that, so that way that we could learn the language.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's great. So it was supportive. I mean, the refugee
Yes,
center.
yes,
Supportive
yes,
for
it is.
everyone.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
With
that's great.
everything.
Yeah, I guess they're doing a new open house this week, and they moved.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Locations
I mean, yes,
this-
they did, but I
this
don't know.
last year,
I didn't know about the
it's on-
wash,
I think
the
it's on
open house.
Thursday afternoon. Yeah, it's
Oh,
this Thursday
okay.
afternoon. They're doing an open house kind of. I
Nice.
think to kind of announce their new location
Oh,
or something like
nice.
that. So I'm hoping to come over for that.
Nice. I don't know.
Could be.
Thursday. This Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's
okay. I
at
did not know
4
about
o'clock.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Maybe I might be there.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I don't know.
that'd be
I might stop
Yeah,
by.
just thinking about them. So then you went to and you went to public schools.
Yes, I went over to Donovan Middle School. We went to Watson Williams, I think. Yeah, Watson Williams, and Donovan Middle School, and then our family moved away from here, so we went to school in a different state after that. But when we were here, those are the two schools that we went to.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
Okay. And now you're at MV.
Yes.
And you finished. You've done what 2 years now?
Yes.
And so you're getting ready to go to Albany.
Yes, yes. This is my last semester. I will be done with my associates in human service, and I am planning to transfer to Albany for child a bachelor's in science and child welfare. Yes.
Wow,
So,
it'll be exciting, a big move. Did you find a
Yes.
place there? Do you think?
No, I did not
yet?
find anything yet because I was thinking about doing it online, but at the same time, they said that it will be much easier on campus because the classes are very difficult to be done online. So I spoke to some people who like help with people who speak different languages, refugees and things like that, and they said that they'll be able to help me out, try to get a house, something like that over there before I actually go transfer over there. So I'm working with them, hopefully that way that when I am ready to transfer, I have everything ready before I go there.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Good.
Mhm.
Good.
Yes.
Hope that goes well.
Yes, because I can't do the student housing because of my son, so
Yes. Right.
I
right.
need
Yes.
actual house.
Right. Yes, that would be important to do.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your son. He's how old is he?
9 years old. He's 9 years old. I mean, he was born in Michigan, and yes.
He was living in Michigan.
Yes.
At the time.
Yes.
And you got married.
I got married when I was 15. It was family arranged marriage. I mean, I really did not like it, but I had to because family culture. You're like well, my family are from. They believe that your parents should be picking your husband. They have to pick your husband out. So like I did not really want to do it, but my family kind of like forced me into it, like a arranged marriage, and I did not really like it because the fact that he was much older than me and that he did not really want me to go to school because of like how our culture work, when you get married you have to be home taking care of the family, having babies and things like that. So he did not allow me to, he did not want me to really go to school because of the cultural belief that if woman gets married, she stays home and watches the kids and cook and clean.
Right.
So I did not really want to be in that situation anymore because I have bigger dreams than that, I want to actually go to school, and I wanted to go to school and become a counselor. And once I stayed in the marriage for about 5 years, and once I turned 18, I got out of the marriage, and that's the reason why I am doing human service, because I want to, like, once I am done with school, I want to actually work with uh, women from my country who are going through the same, younger girls, I would say, not women, but younger girls who are going through the same situation, because it's not really happening nowadays, but I feel that there are women who are still going through this arranged marriages and being forced to marry people that they don't want. And so I want to be able to, like, once I'm done, work with women who been through the same thing as me, be able to take them out of that situation, and hopefully, like, open a house, like, for women, hopefully, if they in a situation where they have children, be able to, like, help women who are in arranged marriages and things like that, they don't want to be in it, help them get in a better, like, situation, and get them away from that, because nobody deserves to be in some deserve to no one deserves to be in something they don't want to be in. Nobody deserves to be with someone they do not want to be in, and I don't think it's right. And I, like, want to be able to be a person who is able to help women who are in that type of situation.
That's great. And do you think you would maybe go work back in East Africa with people, or would you work here with people who have?
Well,
immigrated?
in my country, that is something. It probably will not work. If I was to dare to go back home and try something like that, I would probably get killed or something like that. So definitely not back home, because that is their country. That's what they believe in, and they've been going on generation after generation. So that is something that I have no power over, because it's still happening, that's still going on, and that's what they believe in, and it's hard to change that, because they have been doing it for a long time. But the ones who are in here have better opportunities, because there's education. Like, you could get married whenever you want to, and to whoever you want. Like, many women want to go to school, they want to have a better life before they're able to get married, but they don't get that chance, the opportunity, because of their family beliefs and culture. It's hard for them to do what they want to do because of that.
Yeah. So there would be a possibility of working here.
Yes,
in the
yes,
United States
yes,
with,
yes,
people who-
yes.
That would be an exciting.
Yes, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah,
Very
that's
excited.
great. Well, and so what role? I mean, you've mentioned education. What role has your education played in your desires to want to do that?
Well, I think before I was not in human service, I did not know many laws and things that I am, like, because right now I'm a mandated reporter. So there are things that I am able to do I am able to do and make it happen with me being a human service, like a student, than before. Like, I did not really know about, like, there's the places I could report something like that. There are actually places that will help women who are in that situations and things like that. So my education helped me, and to know things that I did not know before, that I know now, that I wish that I knew when I was in that situation. And I believe that there are still women who are in that situation who want to get out but are not able to, because they don't know that they are help out there, that they could do something to get themselves out of there.
Right. And so you're being able to get more schooling. You hope
Yes,
to get
yes,
more,
yes,
education and
yes.
being able to help
Mhm.
people.
Yes,
That would be good.
Yes.
And so tell me about your religious life, and
Well,
how has that impacted your?
Well, growing up, I always been a Muslim, but because my family, my whole family always, hello. So my whole family always been Muslim. So, like, I am Muslim because that's where I was born into. That's how my family lived, generations after generation. So growing up, like I started wearing the hijab at a very young age because that's what my family believed. That's what like I was brought up that way. But as I was growing up, I pretty much wore it because my family wanted me to wear it and things like that. So as I got to high school and things like that, I was able to I wasn't really home. My family could not really see that I was wearing the scarf or what was I doing. So I tried learning the Quran through the actual book, so that way that I see if a lot of the things that my parents were pretty much doing and things like that. It was more of a culture background. It was more of a culture. People in my culture do this. People we do this. We do that. So once I learned about Islam, things were a lot more different. I took off my scarf for a few years. I wasn't really wearing it because yes, because I have more freedom and I could take it off when I get on the bus and things like that. So as I grew up, I questioned, why am I doing this? Do I want to do this? Why why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Pretty much question it. And then I got to learn it, and I got to learn it from the book. And once I did, and you know, I pretty much, was yes, now I know why I have to do this, why I have to wear the headscarf, why I have to do this, and I was more more practicing in it because I learned them on my own, and that I learned from it on my own instead of I always believed in what my parents told me. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. But most of them, it was just all from culture background and what we did or our family back in years and years and years. It wasn't more of what it came from the book. So once I did, I started educating my parents even more. My especially with my mom, she started learning it on her own and things like that. So she, with a force, wearing the headscarf and whatever whatsoever, she tried kind of because I have younger sisters who don't wear the headscarf, and she wants them to be able to be the ones to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, because a lot of the time when the religion is forced on you, you really do it just because you want to please your parents or whatever. But if I believe that religion should be learned from what they see. You have to be a good role model in order for you to follow what you see. But if you're being told what to do, you're not really going to do what you are told to do, because when the eyes are not watching you anymore, you're really gone because there's nobody watching you. Now I'm free. But if you learn it from yourself, you are more practicing in it than being forced in it.
Right. Very good. And so you picked up the Quran. Did you do courses on the Quran?
I always knew how to read the Quran. I always knew how to read the Arabic. So I pretty much knew what, I just knew it from just reading it, because I never really bothered doing the actual translation. So I had to pretty much teach myself. So I got, once I learned how to read English, I got the English version of it. So as I read, I went back to the English and read what the meaning of it. I read verse and I went back and read what that meant. So it was easier for me. Once after I learned the English, I was able to translate what I was actually saying. So it was much better, and I could understand it more what I was saying, because of I knew what I was actually saying, not just reciting and not knowing what I was talking about.
Interesting. What was I going to ask about the and so at your time at MB, then, have you worn the hijab the whole
Yes, I
time?
did. I started wearing the hijab actually back in when I turned 21. I wore my I took it off for a few years, and once, because after I left my husband, because my parents were not very happy about the fact that I left my husband. Now they are embarrassed. They have a daughter who's divorced, and that is a very something very bad within their culture, like because everyone talks about like you, like, oh, your daughter is divorced, you're this and that. So they kind of like, in a way, almost like I would say like avoiding me. They didn't want me to be close because people will notice that I am not, that I am divorced, and they did not really want to people to see that I was actually divorced. So like they pushed me in a way where I was like there, but I wasn't really there with to them. So that's when I started wearing the hijab, because there wasn't no one really watching me. I did not really have to do what I wanted to do, because nobody was there to tell me don't wear it, or don't do this, don't do that. I was pretty much free on my own. But I never really drank or smoked anything like that. I was just more of take off the scarf and just do whatever I want to do. So I on my 21st birthday, I had a few friends where I turned 21. So like pretty much they're like, oh, now you could drink or something like that. Let's go out. And so we went out with I went out with my friends. And then my friends, they were drinking and things like that. So when I went there, the guy saw my ID, and my dad is known because my dad teaches the Quran. So when the guy saw my ID, he looked at me, he looked at the ID because I was not wearing the headscarf. So he looked at me, looked at my ID and said, hey, do you know this guy? And I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't know him. And he was like, no, this name sounds very familiar. Are you his daughter? And I was like, no, I don't know who that is. Mm-hmm. He's like, okay, well, then in that case, he's my friend, and I'm going to give him a call. Would you be okay for him to come here? Maybe you might know him. I was like, please don't. Yes, it's my dad. And I came out telling him that, yes, it was my dad. And he's like, I'm pretty sure your dad does not know that you're in the club, right, with not dressed up and not covered, right? I was like, no. He's like, so I don't want you to be in here. You're going back home. I was like, today's my birthday and my friends came here. And he was like, okay, I'll let you go because it's your birthday, but I don't want to see you over there at that bar, because that's what they, like, without you, like, that's how we protect each other without you even knowing the person, but you know their kids or something like that. You have to, as an adult, you have to tell them, hey, I know your father, and your father will not allow you to sit over there or do this, whatever. So with me being there, he told me that I could go in, but he does not want to see me at the bar. He does not want to see me talking to any boys, and he wants to see where he could see me. So I pretty much had to be around, even though I was there, but I had to be around where he could see me and know what's going on. So the whole time I was there, 12 o'clock hits, it tells me that I want you to go back home. And I told him that I couldn't go back home because I came with my friends. And he was like, where are your friends? And I showed them, those are my friends. He's like, you're not getting in the car with those girls. And I'm like, why not? He's like, well, because I know that you don't drive, and those girls have been drinking. So those girls, are you guys gonna be riding together? I was like, yeah, because we came together. He was like, no, I don't want you to go with those girls. I want you to get out of here. And I told him I don't have no money, so how can I get home? He's like, I'll pay for the taxi. I'm calling the taxi right now. Get out, and I'm gonna be standing out here with you till you get on that cab. So he made sure I got on that cab. In the middle of the night, my friend mom calls me, tells me that my friends were in a car accident. 2 of them passed away. One of them, she's actually alive but handicapped. Her whole there is like her, she paralyzed her back, so she can pretty much walk. So after I was very shocked, and it was really, it was a turning point for me, because I felt almost like that guy was like an angel to protect me, because if he wasn't there, I'd probably been drinking. If he was been there, I'd probably been in that car accident. So he was there to make sure that I didn't go to that bar, and make sure that I didn't get in that car with those girls. And so ever since then, I just turned, and I, pretty much covered, and I never took it off. I never always been covered after my 21st birthday after that accident.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Amazing story. And I suppose at first when he was telling you couldn't drink and talking about your father, you were like, you didn't like him.
Right.
Get out of my life.
Right. Kind of, yes. And he was like, well, if you're not going to listen, then I'm going to call your father. Would you want your father to see you like this? I was like, no. Well, then if you're not, I'll let you go in, but I want you to stand around where I could see you, because I have to stand here at the door. So you have to sit somewhere I could see you and see what you're doing.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. So since then, you've won the job.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was a turning point for me
Yeah.
because I did not want to continue that lifestyle or doing something like that, because what if I was to die in a situation like that where
Yeah.
my parents are not pleased with me, I don't have no religion, I don't have anything, and so it was really turning point, and ever since then I've been very
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Have you experienced, I don't know, at MV or in Utica in general, I mean, discrimination if you go out?
Well, I would say that over here, no, I'm just checking
Yeah.
time. Okay, no, it's okay. Over here, I would say that because of the population, they have a lot of Muslims. So people here are more diverse, and I would almost say that a lot of the people here, you see more Muslims, people who are covered more than anywhere, any state I ever been to.
Yeah.
So people here are much educated, and they know that these people are part of us, that that we are together and we are like unite. There is no such a thing as a discrimination or someone saying something mean or bad to a Muslim person, because we are all together and we all know, we're Americans, like everybody knows everybody, and they're very welcoming. Nobody discriminates anybody because of your race or how you look or your anything like that.
Wow.
But I would say that a lot of the times, because I work over in Clinton, and like when I go there, I almost feel like I am scared, because you get looked at differently. Someone once told me that go back to your country, and like a guy, one time I was walking in Clinton, over almost when before you get to Hamilton College, there's the big plaza over there, I don't know what it's called, by the lights, and
Yeah.
then some guy was driving by, threw water at me from the car, because me and my sisters were walking and stuff. It was like terrorist and through water. I mean, but here in Utica, I never had anything like that. And a lot of the time, that if I work there over a Presbyterian, but I get out of my car, go and just come out, and a lot of the time I'm kind of I don't dress the way I dress when how I dress here. I wear a skirt or something like that. I don't wear all the black stuff and whatever, because a lot I just feel like. Yes, it's just very different, and you get looked at different. People say mean things, and it's just very different. But here in Utica, I never had within this area, I never really had anything like that. And
Well, that's good.
yes.
Yeah. And hopefully in Albany it will be similar experience. For you.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not. I hope I have this
Yeah.
same similar.
More like Utica.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it
I
should
hope
be.
so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Good. And so, how was I know it was difficult with your parents when you decided to divorce. And leave how was your relationship with your family?
Well, I mean, it's much better than it was, because I told them that there is no such a thing as arranged marriage. If you were saying that because we're Muslims or whatever, you did that because of the religion or something like that, because I could prove to you here that I had a proof. I actually knew I was saying something, but I actually had a proof in front of me. If you're saying that, you're doing this because Islam, we're Muslim, this is what we have to do, and this is what I have as a proof. So you show me, and you tell me where it says that, because this is the verse about marriage. This is what it says about you cannot force your children to marry someone that they don't want to, and those parents who do that, they disobeyed Allah. And if you're saying that you're a Muslim and you're telling me that I have to marry, I have to follow what you're saying, and I have to do what you tell me to do. You pretty much if you were trying to put me in the situation like this, I have a proof why I don't want to be in this. Why you can't, as a parent, you can put me in this situation as well. And then after I did tell them that, and they actually had a proof to show them that what I was talking about, they were more of, accepting, and that, they asked me to forgive them for what they did to me, and that ever since then, like, our relationship been much more more better. They, like, support me with everything, with my life, and they always, like, a lot of the time they still talk to me about getting married, like, get married, or like be with someone, things like that. But as soon as, like, I would say no, they don't bring it up to me. They're like, okay, sorry, okay, or if I if someone was to come to them or something like that, they would tell the person, I need to speak to my daughter first before I say yes to this, because without my daughter being okay with it, I cannot do this. Right. But I had to, like, educate them, right, and for them to understand. And what they did was more of a culture than a religion. And so they forgave me, and our relationship been much better than how it was before.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. Do they help with your son?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, they help a lot when I am in school. They watch my son when I, like, sometimes I have to travel, like, for Islamic events and things like that. They watch my son for a few days, and they've been helping a lot. Like, we can't disown him. He's part of me, but they accept the fact that, like, whatever they did was wrong, and, like, they, like, I told them that I did not want to have his father as part of, because I didn't want him, and this happened. But that is not going to change the fact that I don't want him, and I don't, I don't want him to use an excuse to come to me because of our son. I mean, he could come see his son and do whatever he wants to do, but he's not going to use that try to get to me. And you guys are not going to try to force him on me again, because it happened, and it's not going to happen again, and I'm out of it, and you need to accept that fact. And I'm, whatever anyone says, they let them say whatever they want. Being divorced, there's nothing with being divorced, because everybody goes through something in life, and we have to accept it and move on from it. But if you're gonna sit there, be embarrassed, and try to hide the fact that I'm here and that I am your daughter who's divorced with a child, I guess I will stay away from you guys. If that's what you want, I'll do that. But if you're going to accept me and my son, we're going to be close, and we're going to be here. And you're not going to be embarrassed or lie to people that I'm married, and, my husband is not here and he comes visit, and that's a lie, and you need to be honest with yourself. So it's been much better than how he was.
Good. And they chose to have a relationship with you over trying to maintain some old cultural ideas.
Yes, much better. Yes. Yes.
How are you bringing your son up? Does he learn Quran?
Yes, I do. A lot of the time, I ever since he was little, I mean, because I always been with him and things like that. So I let him learn through me. I don't sit there tell him, okay, we gotta go pray. I would, like, for a way for me, like, to easier for me to motivate him was, like, because we watch, like, Islamic lectures and things like that. I watch it, and then a lot of the time he finds them interesting, and he would come sit there and watch them with me and things like that. But I try not to force religion on him. I don't tell him go pray, or you have to do this, you have to do that. I let him see it, and a lot of the time he sees he sees me, and he's like, I want to be just like you. What do you like? I'm the president of the Muslim Student Association, whatever. So a lot of the time we volunteer together. He sees me that I'm in the community. He's young, but a lot of the time he sees me what I do, and he's like, I want to do it too. He sees, he doesn't brag about it or anything like that. He he just is a good deed for him to do, but he keeps it to himself, and he wants to do more and more and more and more, trying to be like me. But I had to let him learn that from me, instead of me telling him, this is what we are and this is what we're gonna do, and you have to follow what I tell you to do, because I don't want him to be in the same situation that I was, where I hid it in secret, and I was doing things that I was, I wanted to do it because my parents were not there, I want him to learn it from me and choose that for himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Good. And do you go to a mosque?
Yes,
nearby,
I do, but not very much because in our religion, whatever, women are not required to go to the mosque, only if they choose to. But as for men, you are required to go to the mosque. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really go there, pray every prayer, but I do, like, like when they have events and things like that, I'm always there. And sometimes I would go there to pray and things like that, but I'm not there every day and every time we have to pray.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Do you go to at Kimball Street?
Yes,
Kimball Street, yeah.
yes,
Is there space for prayer on campus here?
Yes, we have a prayer we have a prayer room upstairs, but it's not very big. If we were to say, like, not even 5 people could fit in. Yeah, it's very the space is very small.
And how many people are in the MSA?
I about 40 people.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow,
we
that's
have
nice.
we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yes.
I was talking to the president of our MSA at Hamilton College. I was thinking of having like a.
That's
you
what
know,
we were
a
thinking. That's
joint event.
that's what I
That
was
would
that's
be-
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe if we could have a joint
Maybe
event or
Utica
something
College.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Utica College has it though.
I don't know if they have an
Because-
MSA. They do have some. There are some Muslim students there.
Yeah, but I don't think they have MSA because I tried looking at that up and finding information. I couldn't find. Even SUNY Poly don't have it either.
right,
Because
yeah.
I think we're the only, like, I mean, like, what do you call it? Because even with me, like I found this out through the internet and things like that, and that they had something like this, and, like, and then I brought it up to a teacher who here, Shahida, who is a Muslim, and I told her about it, and I told her that this is something that we could do because, like, a lot of people know Islam only through what they see on TV and things like that. What about if we teach it to people? What if we show them that we're not what they see on TV and that we are? So it was something that I brought it up because I seen it, and they're like here in Utica, like, it's not just like people who are immigrants or whatever. There's a lot of people who come from, like, places that where they never see people who are dressed as us, look like us, whatever. So a lot of the time, like, you hear things and you're like, oh my God, like, whoa, you never seen a Muslim? Like, no, I'm from somewhere. It's like a very small town where everyone is all white, and I'm like, so what happens if I go there? Like, you get looked at differently,
Yeah,
probably
right.
told to go back to your country, and I'm like, ouch.
Yeah.
So what if maybe we bring that here? Maybe
Yeah.
when we have events, you could bring your parents and they could see that they are people who are
Right.
different.
Right,
Yeah, so
right,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It'd be great to have a sort of a big event in the
No,
city
that's a-
somewhere with, yeah. sort of
That's
a
we'll try to do that. Reach
Yeah.
out and have something together, and hopefully.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I'll see the president of
Okay.
the MSA here
Okay.
probably this week. If I have to mention it to her.
Mhm,
So she's very active, whether wants to get things.
Okay, I mean, you could give her my information and all that
Yeah.
good stuff, and she could reach out to me, and we'll talk
Yeah.
more about it.
Yeah, that's good. And you work, how often are you in Clinton then? Are you
I
working
am there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
there? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
but
where do you work?
Presbyterian.
Oh, at the
Yes,
at the church.
yes,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're there, she actually Soha is her name, the president. She's
Oh,
always
okay.
at the cafe, the Utica Coffee Cafe
Oh.
across the street. She's always there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe we could arrange a meeting
Okay,
there. Or
no
something
problem.
Like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
So trying to think about how the tradition of Islam. I mean, in certain senses, you learned. You were brought up in a version of Islam and
Yes,
those sort of things, like arranged
Yeah,
marriages, and as you read, you realized this is not about Islam, this is about a culture.
Cultural, yes. I mean, it goes, I think I would say that almost everyone from different country who are Muslim, whatever, a lot of the time is more of a culture and belief and traditions, and other than like, Islam. So they try to like, use their cultural thing and say that Islam this, Islam that, instead of actually getting the information from the actual book. Yeah, so I feel like I believe that it's like that with everyone from different country, what they, what their actual cultures and belief, they mix that up. They mix it up with the religion.
Yeah.
And now people think that, oh wow, like wow, really? Instead of learning from the book, they see what the people are doing, and it's like, oh my God, this is very evil. This is very, and then when you actually learn about the book, you're like, whoa, oh my God, like, like I was talking to Dana, Dana.
Yeah.
Yes, so Dana was like telling me, and I was like, she's like, Mariam, come here. And I'm like, she's like, there's nothing. When I was telling her about my arranged marriages, I mean, before she was Muslim, she was, she was like, oh my God, ouch, that's so harsh. And then when she learned about it, she's like, I'm getting your parents. I'm like, I'll bring you my dad, because she knows my dad. And she's like, she's like, husband, what did you do? And then he doesn't speak English, and he's like, yes. And I'm like, no, she's telling you what you did is evil. You're like, sorry, me, my country, my this. And I was like, no, Dad, it was your country and whatever. And she read it. She's telling you that what you did is wrong. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, So it's like more of a culture than the religion. So they mix up culture and religion and make their own rules and try to say that the religion did this, the religion said this, the religion said that, instead of actually getting it from the actual book. I believe, I like, noticed.
Mm-hmm. And you think that will help you in the future when you work with women?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Find the true faith.
Definitely.
So Islam, I mean, I'm interested in how religious traditions sort of, affect culture and culture affects religions. I mean, you see Islam as a positive.
Yes,
force,
yes. A lot of the time, I like when somebody says that Muslims this, Muslim this, Muslim that. A lot of the time, my way that I learned, instead of saying a worse thing to that person, I would be like, judge whatever, judge the book, not the person, because the book is the truth. You're not gonna judge Islam based on what you see on a Muslim, because Muslims are not perfect. The Islam is the religion, and that is perfect. So you want to learn about the religion, go learn about from the book, but don't sit there and judge a whole religion based on one person who did something who claims to be Muslim did something evil. Now you think that the whole religion is evil. So that's how I like look at it, because if we were to to judge it based on people, and people are evil, people do things, and it's it's evil, and and you learn the truth, and you're like, wow, whatever that person did was evil, and that's like sin pretty much, like where there's some people like from the Middle East, if a woman commit adultery where she has to be stoned to death and like things like that. I mean, the prophet stopped that. He stopped something like that, people to do things like that. But there are people, because of their culture, their culture belief tell them to do that. There are people who still do that, where a woman does something like that, she's being stoned to death. If a woman walks out of the house alone, whatever, she gets killed or whatever. And it's like, where in the religion thought this? What Islam are you practicing? And they sit there and say that they're Muslim, So that's another reason why I would never see myself going to the Middle East, because the things they practice are just very evil, and yet they sit there, and that's the country of where the prophet came from, and it's like, wow, these people are evil, and it's just, I don't know, I don't like it, and I would never want to be in somewhere like that.
Yeah. But you see yourself traveling and going to other countries?
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I would love to go to anywhere but the Middle East. Anywhere but the Middle East, definitely not for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't. And
Yeah.
I definitely not for me. I mean, it's the holy place. That's where the prophet
Yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
the things that happen there is just
Yeah.
very unreligious.
Yeah. You do the Hajj. Some,
I would love to one day. I never did it, but I would love to one day go there. But it would be a great opportunity. But I was never able to
yeah.
go there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's time.
Definitely, it takes time for everything.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome.
talking to me.
You're
Just,
welcome. You're
you
welcome.
have Such great.
You're
great
welcome.
story and,
Anytime.
fascinating
Anytime.
stuff.
If you
So,
have any
yeah.
further question, reach out to me. And
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I'll try to connect you if I see
Okay.
Salah for
Mhm.
MSA.
No problem.
Connect you guys because I think it'd be a good, event to maybe get both groups together.
Right,
but
right.
Also, I think I've been talking with the imam at the Bosnian.
Yes.
Mosque,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
yes,
I'm Sal. Yeah.
Yeah, but doing an event in Utica and something about we were talking about this a while ago, and we dropped it, but maybe having something about what like having a panel somewhere in public space, sort of what Muslims need, or something like that. And just sort of, I think
right,
it'd be a way
right.
to be informative for like employers, for whether it's for Juma,
Right,
like
right, right.
employees might need some time off.
I don't.
Friday
I don't know. That would be a
or-
great idea. That would be a great idea. That would be something definitely that Imam gonna be part of it to have the actual conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
he'll be able to spread it out more than I would. And
Yeah.
like that, what does he think about it?
Right. Well, and I think I think that maybe your perspective. I think it'd be good to have sort of thinking about education and college.
Yes.
Important because there's plenty of Muslims
Right.
here and around Utica in general. So yeah, we'll have to talk with him again about how to do that.
No problem. So I'm gonna get going
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I
I
still
know
have
you
to.
gotta- I know
yes,
you got
I have to finish.
presentation to get
Yes,
together.
and it's like 1:50.